they get to the ball, can they swing at the ball? Right? So I can put all those check marks at the. So I'm thinking what I'm going to call and how I'm going to justify it as I watch the play. Right? So I'm not waiting for the end of the play and go, oh, wait a minute, there was a left. What happened? Right? So the trick is every shot. If I had to make a call on this shot, what would I call? Right?
So what if the ball's hit so hard that you could cut it off, or you could wait for it to come off the back wall, and you choose to go forward, or whatever, and something happens, and say let, and then you decide, well, no, you could have played it off the back wall. You went the wrong way to the ball.
Once you ask for the let.
Oh no, but like you have to make the decision. Like, okay, you could have chosen to go this way to get the ball, or you could have chosen this way to get to the ball.
It's whatever way you chose.
So it's not up to you to decide. There was alternate.
It's what they did.
What they did. All right.
So that one's an interesting one. So I hit the ball hard down the wall, and I go to try and cut it off, right? But by the time I was going to get there, that ball's gone, right? So that means I couldn't have got that ball, so there's no obstruction. If I hit you on the way to that ball, that's not obstruction, right? Because the ball's over here, right? The direct path of the ball was over there, right? But if I could have got that ball and you were directly in my way, that's obstruction. Now it could be if I prevented the shot, okay, it's a stroke, right? I'm not trying to get out of the way. Right?
I would suggest the biggest one we see here is created interference when you hit a rail or something and somebody moves into you and
they clear right into
the ball's well beyond them,
right?
And they're asking for a stroke or a let. They're asking for a let and looking for a let. Meanwhile, you weren't going to get that, and you're being asked for something and you can't really necessarily call it on the court. Somebody else has to call it for you, and it's.
I think that's a very typical. Yeah. You didn't clear, or you cleared into the clear,
you're
doing the other one, right? It's that I ran into the player instead of going to the ball.
Well, the fact that you're saying that I'm the striker right up to the front wall. There are a ton of guys, when you hit a rail, that'll move right into you at the point you struck the ball.
Right.
And then you're looking to get out, they're coming from the tee right into you.
Right.
And if you're the striker all the way to the front wall, they've got to allow you to get out of there.
Right.
And they don't typically.
Yeah, so we used to call it crowding, but you don't really have that term anymore. But yeah, you need to allow the player to clear.
To get out.
Right.
And when you play sometimes with very tall people on that, people with big reach.
Yeah. Everybody's tall to you, Bob.
Okay.
I was waiting for that.
Jerk, that's a whole bunch of those.
Tough crowd.
Ruthless.
Except Panama, maybe.
Yeah, Woodland Steve.
He's not here.
And he doesn't eat vegetables.
Yeah.
Skirts. Right into it.
Stroke. Not the stroke. I don't know what stroke.
Like a
You didn't clear right into the player.
Going to the tee, basically.
Yeah, you go back to the tee. You know right to the tee, right? You hit it back to the tee. You can't be there too.
Yeah, that bottom line there is important. Clearing the wrong way is considered the same as not making it right.
Right, exactly. You cleared into the path of the ball and you're So you see a lot more of that now. The players, we've got them, the pros, we got together as well, the PSA guys, and they basically want players to play the ball. They want to make every effort to play through stuff, so you don't see the amount of lets that they had before. We used to say you had to get X number of lets to get a proper signature for an assessment, and that was on the way down because we want fewer lets to be played. So if you have to say I have to get 25 lets to have an assessment, I mean, if you manage the match right, 10 lets would probably be all you should have, right? So I think the number to go is like 4 or 5 a game is what we try and match for. So on a five games match, I would 25 lets would be good. I did one of the Canadian Junior Opens a couple years ago, and we had two guys that didn't clear. They didn't like to clear. And I had 63 laps.
Holy cow.
And I think I have still the score sheet. And I think there was 23 strokes and 15 no laps. All from, no access to the ball. I stood at the ball and I stood there. Right? Here you go. Yeah, it was
Is that back in the day when it was the old conventional
no,
scoring?
this is
like par scoring as well?
3-4 years ago, yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Josh,
You remember that, don't you?
I do. Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, so do I.
So swing interference. So this is I can't swing, right? Prevented. So this is what I talked about before, right? I prevented the swing, right? I couldn't swing. I couldn't. You were in the path of the swing. I couldn't make the shot. And or if affected, I incidental clear. I put it back and I hit you with on the way back, right? Or I followed through and I hit you on the follow through, right? Typically, they didn't really affect the ball, right? Didn't make it go into the tin. So if I hit you on the swing, the ball goes in the tin. You've obviously affected the swing. Right? So typically, when somebody gets hit with the racket significantly on the way through, and the ball hits the tin, that would be prevented. Right?
That's usually a left.
So if it's prevented, it's a stroke. If it's affected, I affected it. It was a minor interference. So you would allow the continued motion. Right? So a lot of times, even if they get it up top, if they're really kind of like a back of swing interference up here somewhere, and they hit it and it goes in the tin, sometimes I'll leave that's just a left because it really didn't affect it.
Because I'm coming through with my folks, the second one you're saying about. So I've come through and I've now clipped Doug with the racket coming through. He can call for interference then, can he?
Well, unless it prevented him, how did it affect him getting to the ball?
That's the
Did it
question.
break his arm and
Some guys say you come through and you sort of rub them or something like that. The next thing you know, they say, okay, well you interfere with my shot, so
I usually do the soccer dive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can do that, but that was
It's true with him, Les.
So the three things are there: contact on the backswing. Okay, I took the racket back, right? You're in my backswing, right? And this is a typical thing where I'm backing you up into the corner, right? The ball's coming down, and you're trying to get out of the way, and I'm backing you right into
big
the
bird.
ball.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, I mean, that used to be you have to give the person room to hit the ball, right? And if you're clearing, the ball's coming back, and you're clearing, right? But generally, what I'll do is I'll give you one step or something. But if you keep backing the person up, you had a chance to hit the ball. I want you to hit the ball, right? So I won't give him a stroke for that, even though that I didn't get cleared because you were creating interference by backing it.
By following the ball.
He was fishing at that
It was
time.
fishing, yeah. Yes. The other one is fishing, right? You're like, no, he's there somewhere, right? He's fishing.
He's trying to put you back in the corner. You can't get to the next ball because
Right, yeah.
we have one player who does that. He sort of waits the thing almost hits the second bounce almost to the ground. He gets you far back in the corner that he's got.
But you shouldn't have hit there because you got yourself trapped, right? So you've got some blame there.
Yeah,
right?
but
So on the backswing, so I can't get the racket back, and I'm coming through on the downswing, and the third one is the follow through, right? So incidental contact, backswing contact. Yeah, so you sort of hit him on the back at the top of the swing. Real incidental, right? Almost always give them a lead on that because you don't want them to hit the players, right? But a lot of times it's really did nothing to the shot there, but it can affect it. Come on, that's one last. You have to go to you again. Okay. So I can take a full swing. Right? Again in the left. See, I didn't prevent him. I was up there, right? So that's rarely ever given a stroke.
But that would be a left for sure.
That would be a left for sure. Yeah, I can.
He was making an attempt to clear.
He was making every type of clear, and he was clear of a normal swing,
Yeah.
right? If I went way back like that, there's the only way I was gonna get him if I make an excessive swing.
But I mean, the reasonable.
Reasonable swing, you had a reasonable swing. But it was affected after you like reasonable field range that we talked about before, right? I'm close and
That's the Colin question, right? He was somewhere back there. behind.
somewhere back there, yeah. No, he was
He
there.
felt his force.
He felt his
Yeah,
force.
his force.
Spidey sense.
It's like Palmer. Oh, there we go. Now I'm in the swing, right? So I can't swing because you're right under my swing, right?
That's a stroke.
That's a stroke. I have the freedom to make the swing. I have to be able to make that swing. I didn't take an excessive swing. I'm right here, and your head's right there. So the follow through. Oops.
I think that's what it gets us.
The only giant bull structure. Well, so he made second effort. See what he did? He made an effort to the ball,
Well, then
and then player comes in and now he's inside the swing. So that's the second attempt, right? So if I make an attempt to hit the ball, right, and I pull back, that's considered an attempt. Anything forward motion of the racket toward the ball is considered an attempt, right? So on a second attempt, I can only get a left because I'm trying to fake him out, right? I'm saying, oh, I'm going to fake the shot, and so now you've put me off balance. Now you're in the swing. So now it's just a left because I made the second attempt.
Is that the same thing for swing it, missing it, and then swinging it?
Yeah.
Same thing.
So that's an attempt. Any forward motion of the ball.
Okay.
And you need to swing and miss it, right?
Same idea.
Yeah, and the ball, comes off the back wall, and the person's between now you and the front wall. It's just a left.
Okay, cool.
Now here's the excessive swing.
The Marcos one.
Oh, yeah.
What the
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
is that?
Yeah, what the frick the hell's that?
So
Now they're coming off the court and complaining.
So what would you get for that?
So if you,
Yeah.
That was an excessive swing.
So this is a no left. Yeah.
Yeah.
He sensed the guy was there and he went back to.
Well, not only fishing, he went. Right. Yeah. Actually, yeah, he hit him with the thing.
He's trying to take him out with a racket.
That's created interference, right? He created interference. That's an excessive swing. Example.
All these lets are initiated only by a player asking for a let, correct?
Always have to ask for a left.
A
Absolutely.
referee would never say.
Well, I can stop it. I can if I see something that's going to be dangerous,
Whoa.
I can stop it. I just say stop. Right? Don't hit that.
Okay.
I can't reach that high. That's soccer.
Yeah.
a little more than
Pick it up.
I think it was it took a bit of Jonathan took the dive every once in a while.
So what is that considered on that one then? Because the follow through, he went down like he got shot.
Well, an excessive swing could be a stroke against you. Dangerous play.
Okay.
So here we have the danger zone. Danger zone. What show was that from?
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Top Gun. Yeah.
Sorry, we all know that at this age.
I should have known that. I am at that age.
Come on, Grace.
He's still making action. I can't believe it.
Not right now. He's not. He got injured on the last one.
That's true.
Broke his ankle.
Yeah.
Look at that. So hitting the non-striker hit by the ball to the front wall, right? So this is going directly to the front wall. So a stroke to the striker. This is relatively straightforward.
That's a safety.
Rodriguez.
Whoa.
This guy's
Jump.
amazing. Miguel.
Louis.
That's my father.
Here, Link. So you shouldn't have probably played that ball, but almost hit by the ball. I've seen Miguel do so many dives, it's incredible.
So if he called it before that, it would have been a stroke, but he played
Yeah.
it.
He played it, he played it.
He played it.
Yeah.
No obligation, right?
That's what Les is saying, is that the pros at this level try to play the ball all the time, as much as possible.
So then it's going to sidewall, so even if it goes to the sidewall, it still had to be a good return. So I hit it at the sidewall, but it's like gonna never get to the front wall, then it's not a good return, so it's no matter. It has to be a good return. So it's one of the key things in here. You have to be able to hit the ball and make a good return.
Has to be able to reach from.
Has to be able to reach the front wall.
And it's a let or a stroke?
So if I hit the ball into the sidewall like that, and hit the player.
Yeah.
But the ball, let's hit him on the angle at the bottom like this. Never going to make the
Yeah.
never going to make the front
You
wall.
don't square it in the back.
Well, the ball's just not going to make it to the front wall. It's not going to make it. Like, or he hits it straight into the side wall like this. It's never going to hit the front wall. Then it's not a good return, right? So then you would say there's no likelihood you couldn't have made a good return.
But given that, so in this situation where it would have been a good return,
Yes.
Is it a
so
stroke or a
is that
let?
considered a bad clear?
It's just a let though.
No, he was
wall.
clear. He gave him the front wall.
Yeah, so.
So
So the difference there was that in the first example, he was going straight to the front wall. The striker hit the ball straight to the front wall. He hit the opponent.
Then it would be a stroke.
The striker loses the point.
No, that's turning.
Okay.
Only on the turn.
Only on the turn.
So this would be a let.
So this would be a let.
Okay.
Yep.
That was,
In
So-
this case,
So
because
you had the whole front wall, and you chose to hit it into the side wall, and the player was there. So, assuming the ball was going to make it to the front wall and the post, then it's a let. And you would probably say if the guy, knew the guy was there and still hit it there, it's dangerous play, right? So, again, don't hit the ball if you know the player's there. Most of these are accidents, right? You mishit it or something. You wouldn't do that. Right. You're hitting yourself, the ball, right? So you hit the ball back against the ball and it hits you.
nope.
So, technically, if you ask for the let and the ball hits you, technically it's a stroke. But if I hit the ball and it hits me, that's not a, that's an invalid shot. So technically it's not a. So if I double hit it or I hit it, it hits me, that's not a.
Say it again, miss that.
So if I hit the ball into the front wall.
It hits me.
And it hits you,
Yeah,
the ball is technically not up.
You lose the point.
Right, it's an invalid shot.
Yeah.
It's an incomplete shot.
So it's not a stroke, it's an invalid shot.
Right.
Well,
But the player standing right behind you and asks for a let, right?
Yeah.
It's, we don't consider that if we were assessing somebody, that would be a let call or a stroke call.
It's an invalid shot. He doesn't have to ask for it. It's just an instant stroke to the other
It's
guy.
it's not even a stroke, it's not a decision at all.
Yeah, that's what I'd like
Down.
It's not up.
Not up.
Not up.
Not up.
Down is racket to the floor. Right? Everything else is not up.
Point to the other guy.
Point to the other guy.
Point to the other guy.
What the player calls it, he calls a last and catches the ball after it comes off the ground.
So he asked for the let?
He asks for the.
As soon as he asks for the let, the game probably stops, right? So it's whatever was the situation when he asked for the let. Not anything after that is, yeah. The only thing that happens after that is, what was the ball gonna do, right? Was it gonna be a winning shot? Was it gonna be playable, right? So only when you have to figure out, do I have to make a decision where the ball was gonna go? Would that be done?
For instance, the side wall.
Yeah, was it gonna go up? Yeah. Okay.
So that question Jim was basically, so we've seen it a couple of times all over the place where it's like, basically, if I am gonna ask for a let, but I've asked for it, I guess the key is whether you've asked for it or not, but I'm basically gonna ask for a let and I go ahead and catch the ball.
And then ask for the letter.
But if I ask for the let, it's irrelevant.
But if I
because
catch the
moment-
ball behind your head,
Right.
rather than hit the ball.
But I think the key there is if you ask for the let, it doesn't matter. The moment it's a
That's
freeze
right.
frame in time, right?
That's right.
But it's where player catches the ball and then asks for the letter.
Yes, that's different.
It's different.
So what happens there?
Well, you could say, don't do that, and still give them a let. Don't do that again.
Yeah.
Typically, that's what I do. Is okay, I'll give you a let, but don't do that again. So this one's interesting, where I hit the ball, the opponent misses it, and it bounces back and hits me. Right? What's the call?
Say that with it. Try it again.
So, I hit the ball.
The guy in the black hit the ball.
The guy in black hits the ball, the guy in the white misses the ball.
Oh,
Makes
I
an
see.
attempt at it, misses the ball, and it hits me.
Well, this guy in the white could
Who's
have
gonna
got
call-
the ball.
call
So
the
there'd
left?
be no left.
Only if he does a second attempt and it hits him, right?
So as soon as he's swung, that's an attempt.
Yeah, if he does a second attempt to hit it, but it
So,
hits the other
so,
guy.
so if it just hits me, it stops, right? So the question would be, could he have got to the ball, right? Could he have made a good return after, had it not hit me, could he have made a good return?
Not from those positions.
Probably not, right? So then it'd be, no left.
But because he made an attempt at best, it's a left.
Well, he made an attempt at it.
Yeah, no, but because he made the attempt, the second attempt at
But and then if he went and got it, and then you were still in the way, well, no, you develop. As soon as it hits you, the play's over.
Right.
Yeah.
So the trick is, would he have been able to get to the ball and get to it, right? Because sometimes you can't, right? Because you whiff at it and then.
You're trying to volley it, and then it's
Yeah.
long.
Right, and then you still, but like I'm standing in the middle and I hit it right back and the guy whiffs at it and I'm standing behind on it, right? And I can just like quickly, go around and get it. So in that case, it would be just a left. It was a left if I could have gotten the ball after they hit me.
And that would fall
But in
into
this
the-
case, that far apart, there's no way that guy's gonna.
But that scenario you just described would fall into the second attempt scenario.
Second attempt.
So it could be nothing.
Even if you did get it.
Get nothing
More
nothing
than
better
a-
than a left.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's right. And these are all kind of
The things that never
further
happen
out
here.
there. Yeah, well,
It's
I
not
mean,
good
these
enough
have.
school.
I hate to say it, but I've seen every one of these.
Many a time.
Yeah, one more than once. So recovering after a shot, right? So I've missed the ball. I'm making a further attempt, and now we're confused, right? We're trying to get out of the way.
Nothing better than a left.
So if he could have recovered, if you could not have recovered and got to the ball, then it's no left. If you could recover and get to the ball, then it's a left.
And the key there is under no circumstances
Yeah,
is there a
but
stroke.
no stroke.
Because it's a second attempt.
Get to the ball and make a good return, right? I can get to the ball, but it's dead in the back corner. I'm not going to be able to make a good return if it's laying on the floor. Turning. We talked about turning, but it's turning. So if it goes to one side of your body, it comes out the other side, right?
That happened to me like 15 times in one day.
You don't have to turn. I can wait for it here. It comes this way, comes around, and I can wait for it here. I don't have to turn,
Pretty much.
right? That is still considered turning. Where it comes around the other side. So it's like even if it comes off this side of the wall, comes behind me, comes out the other side. That's considered turning.
It's done it to me 15 times in one day.
And it's not shaping, right?
Terrible, sir.
And so the other thing is coming across. If the ball comes out and I just move across with it, that's just shaping the ball. That's not turning.
Skim again from the sphere from the right hand side.
First day coming up, they need to come and swing at that shit.
So the proper one. Nope. Not play that. So the one thing that sometimes happens in this is the guy turns, but the ball dies in the back corner, right? Like it's dead. And you can never get it out. Then you legitimately say no that because you couldn't make a good return. But you don't necessarily want to do that because then they'll start playing.
You don't want to discourage them.
I don't want it
Safety
to.
lets.
Yeah.
So I
If
mean,
you're playing it safe, I would give you the benefit.
so even if it's rolling out, 'cause I know we say if you're turning, it's a left, and we don't even think about the second part of that sentence.
But theoretically, if it nicks out of the back, if it comes in and then nicks out, then it's no left, right?
So the upper levels we play no let, and the other levels play a let.
As long as you make it, yeah. The hard one there's one that's they call it the crow-let, which is I serve wide, comes out, and I come across, and I come way across, and now the player is between me and the front wall, right? Technically, that's a stroke because I haven't turned, right? I've just followed the ball back, right? And now I'm standing at
And he's moving to the tee, and now.
and he's still at the tee. He's still standing there. He's moved to the tee after, right? And I'm standing there. So we basically give that as a let, even though technically it's a stroke.
Why is that?
Well, it's courtesy, right? It's,
Okay.
and you'll see it happen, right? You go, why is that a let, right? I think it was right between him and the front wall. Right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the ball is really close to the back wall, and really all they can do is post it, right? And if they did try and hit it, the person, you know, they really can't get it to hit the person, right? Like they can really only hit it to that part, and the person.
Yeah, if they're playing a post, the person isn't in their way.
Right.
But
So
if they
typically
have
it's
an
just-
opportunity to play to the front wall, then.
But
they are-
sometimes I've called it where the ball comes way out, and the
Yeah.
person's just standing there, and I'm like,
Yeah, the guy's hopping out of the way to catch it off the back wall.
That's
He's
definitely
moving
a
into the.
stroke.
yeah. So yeah, the play ball comes off, and the guy's still standing there, and you're gonna give him the yellow dot enema.
That would be a stroke.
That's a stroke.
Yeah, but that would be a stroke in that situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But if I turn,
Yeah.
then I'd be a
Yeah.
let. I'd have to ask for the let.
Yeah.
Turning and continuing play. So this is I turned and hit it. You can still go do it, and the pros actually will do this. They'll turn and hit the ball.
Yeah.
If it's kind of loose and easy, they'll just hit back down the wall.
And everything in each clear.
Everybody's clear, and there's no danger.
So go down the right hand side.
These guys know where
Instead of
everybody
hitting
is.
across.
Yeah, these guys know where everybody is all the time. We aren't that good.
I don't know where I am half the time.
So turning and hitting the ball, we talked about it before, turning and hitting the ball, then it's a stroke to the other person. Right? Even if it's going to the sidewall.
We're all certified refs.
We're certified?
Okay.
All right.
Excellent.
So I think this has changed a little bit. So, like I said before, the certification deals are, there's an online exam you can take. It gives you an initial certification. And then you can get assessed by one of the provincial assessors, and then you get to be, I guess that's what they call it, the regional referee. I think it's like a city level sort of and then if you get several assessments, you become a provincial, which is we used to call it B level, and you get a national referee.
Are the websites on here? I want to be the first arrogant person at this club just to have the certification.
So it's at squash.ca.
Let's see. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take the
Do
honor
it.
for him.
Do it.
I'll be a bookler.
To fill it,
I'll be a bookler.
Do that, and then you can go ref Hunter and Sterling.
Oh, I don't care about others.
I know, that's always fun now.
I ref.
I have no
If I
problem
could-
refereeing those two guys.
Colin, can I just interrupt for 1 second? I just want to, first of all, Les, thanks so much, for, I know you had a little bit of Caesar salad there, and a little T-shirt for you.
Oh,
casual wear, whatever. But,
Where's the foxtail?
I want to thank Colin as well for kind of organizing this night. And thank all of you guys as well to come out. I mean, knowing the rules truly will make you a better player because you understand the game better. So I mean, I'm glad if this is the first time for some of you guys, experiencing the rules and knowing about them. Now you understand things better, and that will make you a better player. So anyway, it was
And more
great.
fun.
So, yeah.
And there's
That's safer.
opportunity. There's opportunity in that. It's like if you know it, often you find yourself pressured, and you end up making a shitty shot. And sometimes, although they're encouraging you to play, they're encouraging you to play, but it's still. I mean, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, there's always
you think, I
ways.
get it, and you end up losing because you forced a shot that you had opportunity.
I wish Ashton was here.
Yeah, he was supposed to come.
I wish he was here.
Possibly this.
I guys want to thank Billy for the.
I was telling a couple guys earlier, I'm very lucky. I had a great coach. My wife, she's a chef and caterer and all that stuff, and I'm a total foodie, as well as a bunch of the guys here. But I've learned how to do.